Happiness is not the opposite of sadness. We usually think of sadness and happiness as two opposite ends of the emotional spectrum. And that translates into this common belief that to be happy, we need to push away whatever that feels uncomfortable or negative. When we feel sad, angry, or frustrated, we wish we could snap out of those emotions quickly, and unconsciously we think, I'm not supposed to feel that way. What can I do to fix this? But what if happiness or being happy doesn't need us to run away from our emotions, to suppress our emotions? What if happiness isn't really the opposite of sadness? What if, as Alan Watts said, happiness is the space where all emotions arise? So if happiness is not the opposite of sadness, then we don't need to get rid of all other emotions to feel happy. Happiness is the space where all emotions can come and go. Imagine a movie screen. On that movie screen, all sorts of movies are being played. Some are comedies that make you laugh. Some are dramas or tragedies and they make you cry. But no matter what movie is playing on that screen, the screen itself doesn't change, right? It holds the space for whatever that is being played. Happiness is like that screen that allows all emotions to come and go. Happiness, which is we can call our natural state of being, stays the same no matter what emotions we are experiencing. So if you are feeling sad, that doesn't mean that you have lost your happiness or your ability to feel happy. It just means that you have lost your awareness of happiness, your natural state of being for now. And that even that doesn't mean that you have done something wrong. It just means that you are human and you are experiencing full range of emotions, and in experiencing those emotions, in that process, sometimes you lose your awareness of happiness. But this is not the way that world talks about happiness. The world we live in pushes us to fix ourselves as soon as we feel off, especially when we feel angry or frustrated. And the message that this world is giving us is clear, that emotions like frustration, like grief, like sadness are not acceptable, and we need to get rid of them as quickly as possible. But it's up to us to accept that message and live a miserable life, or accept our emotions, and knowing that those emotions cannot influence or cannot change our natural state of being, our happiness. They are like waves on the surface of the ocean. Can waves or temporary turbulences change the ocean? So by not fighting with our emotions, by allowing ourselves to feel our emotions fully, we allow happiness to settle in naturally and organically. And there is a very surprising and sweet kind of relief in doing that. There is freedom in accepting our emotions. And when we feel free, we also feel happy. They come kind of together. Then we realize that the happiness is our way of being, is a truth of us, is our natural state of being. We don't need to do anything or become anything to be happy. We only need to get rid of our mind-made blocks to happiness. The beliefs like this belief that we need to get rid of all other emotions to feel happy. As Alan Watts said, our job is not to create the flow of happiness, but it is to stop blocking it. I'm going to talk about the beliefs, these kind of blocks and lies about happiness that we have been programmed to believe about happiness in another video. When we accept our emotions, we make a space for whatever that is happening inside of us. Whether it is frustration, grief, sadness, whatever it is, we open ourselves to something deeper, a deeper kind of happiness that is beyond emotions. A happiness that is not a high, perfect kind of happiness that we have been programmed to so desperately look for. A grounded kind of happiness that or joy that comes from within. For example, if you are going through a breakup and you may feel sadness or fear or anger for what happened and for what comes next. In a situation like that, when you feel those kind of emotions, it's very easy to think that you have done something wrong. It's very easy to think that you are incapable of having a happy life or being happy, and you are not going to be happy again. But that all those emotions, when you feel those emotions, they don't mean that you have lost your state of being. Happiness is your natural state of being, and you cannot lose it. But because when we feel those kind of emotions, we usually fight those emotions. We want to get rid of them as quickly as possible. We give our power to them and they take over. And we lose our awareness of the happiness, our natural state of being. And at the time, we think that we are not going to be happy again. But they don't have that much power. Happiness is beyond that range of emotions. They cannot change it. They come, and if we allow them, they are gonna leave. When we let go of those mind-made blocks and we know that happiness can come in naturally, we let go of the need to always feel high happy. Because now we are kind of confident, we are certain that happiness is always here, it's always accessible to us. We don't need to effort and struggle to reach or to achieve happiness. We don't need to do anything or become anything to be happy. That doesn't mean that we are not going to experience some moments or periods of grief or frustration or sadness. But it does mean that those moments don't define us. Happiness does. So the more we allow ourselves to be with our emotions without resistance, without judgment, without fear, the more aware we become of that happiness that is always flowing through us and is always accessible to us no matter what the situation. But the more we try to look for happiness in all those wrong places outside of us, the more we interfere with the natural flow of life and we mess things up for ourselves. But the choice is always yours. Sending you all my love. Until next time.